Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are heading out to the massive, wide-open plains of southern Africa. Why? Well, we're going to meet an animal that is a true marvel of agility and adaptation. So, let's jump right in.
All right, to get us started, I've got a little quiz for you. Picture an animal so athletic it can launch itself 11 feet straight up into the air. That's actually higher than a standard basketball hoop. And it does it without even bending its legs. Any ideas what it could be? If you guessed the Springbok, you nailed it. This amazing antelope is famous for that exact spectacular leap. So now, let's really get to know the incredible animal behind the jump.
And really, it all starts with that signature move. In fact, its name, Springbuck, literally comes from two Afrikaans words, spring, which means jump, and buck, which means antelope or buck. So it's quite literally the jumping buck.
Now, this unique behavior actually has a name. It's called pronking, and the word itself means to show off, which, you gotta admit, is a pretty perfect description. The Springbok holds its legs totally rigid, arches its back, bows its head, and just explodes straight up. We're gonna find out why they do this a little later on, so stick around for that. Okay, but before we dive any deeper, let's get the names straight so we all know what we're talking about. An adult male is called a ram, a female is a ewe, and their young ones are known as calves. And when you see a whole bunch of them together, you're looking at a herd. Simple enough, right? But you know, pronking isn't their only athletic talent. The Springbok is an absolute powerhouse of speed and agility, perfectly designed for life out there on the savannah. So let's talk about speed for a second. A Springbok can hit a top speed of 55 miles per hour. I mean, that's highway speed. This incredible burst is, as you can imagine, one of its best defenses against predators.
And let's get back to that jump. An 11-foot vertical leap is just, well, it's astonishing. That stiff-legged launch into the air makes them a super difficult and unpredictable target for anything trying to hunt them.
And here's the kicker. All of that explosive power is packed into a really lightweight frame. They weigh up to around 93 pounds, which gives them this slender, graceful build that's perfect for both speed and agility.
So if you were out on the savannah, how would you spot one? Well, you'd look for their beautiful three-toned coat, a light tan back, a clean white belly, and a dark brown stripe that runs right between them. Both the males and the females have these elegant lyre-shaped horns. You'll also see a dark stripe that goes from their eyes to their mouths. But they also have a little secret, a hidden pocket of white hair on their back called a dorsal fan that they can flash open when they get excited or alarmed. But the Springbok is so much more than just an athlete. It's also a master survivor, one that's perfectly adapted to some of Africa's driest, harshest environments. And this brings us to one of the wildest facts about these animals. I mean, think about it. In these dry landscapes where water is incredibly hard to find, how does such an active animal even stay hydrated?
Get ready for this because the answer is almost unbelievable. A Springbok can live its entire life without ever taking a single drink of water. Yeah, you heard that right. Its entire life.
So how on earth do they pull that off? Well, they've adapted to get all the moisture they need from the plants they eat, things like succulent shrubs and flowers. They also tend to graze at night, which is super clever, because the water content in grass can be 3 times higher than it is during the hot day. It's a brilliant strategy that not only keeps them hydrated, but also keeps them safe from predators that often stake out those dangerous waterholes. Springboks are also really social animals, and their community life is every bit as fascinating and adaptable as their physical abilities. Their whole social structure is incredibly flexible. So, for example, you'll often see what are called nursery herds, which are basically just the ewes and their young calves hanging out. Then you've got the bachelor herds, which are groups of young males. But when times are good, like in the summer when there's plenty of food, these smaller groups will all merge together into massive mixed herds, sometimes with hundreds of animals. So how do they manage all this social complexity? Well, communication is everything. They use this rich combination of scent markings, quiet little grunts and snorts, and all sorts of visual cues, like body posture, to stay connected and warn each other about any danger. Okay, so remember where we started with the mystery of that incredible jump? Well, it's time to bring everything together and finally solve the pronking puzzle. But first, here's a little point of pride. The Springbok is so beloved and so iconic that it's actually the national animal of South Africa. Its image is a symbol of resilience and grace, and it's most famously connected with the country's national rugby team, who are known as the Springboks. So why do they really pronk? It turns out there isn't just one single answer. It can be an alarm signal to warn the rest of the herd. It's also a show-off message to predators, basically saying, hey, look how fit I am, look how high I can jump, you have absolutely no chance of catching me. It's also used to impress potential mates. And remember that white Duracell fan? When they pronk, it flashes open and releases a sweet honey-like scent. And maybe the best reason of all, sometimes it really seems like they just do it for the sheer joy of it. So there you have it. From its incredible athletic skills to its genius survival strategies and its playful showing off, this Springbok is truly a wonder of the savannah. It's an athlete, a survivor, and a national symbol all rolled into one. So I have to ask, what part of its story do you find the most amazing?